Hi, this is Scott Fresener, developer of T-Seps and FastFilms. You know, one of the hardest colors to pull is flesh because there's different skin tones, and you often need to print multiple levels of the skin tone. You need to print the highlight, the lighter skin tone, the medium tone, the dark tone. When you see a great flesh tone image on a shirt, chances are there were 2 or 3 fleshes. Now, let's run a routine quickly on a design that has 4 different skin colors. And I'm running the 5-color plus 2 whites because this design is not that colorful other than there's lots of skin tones. And again, we load the black version first, the white version second. And I'm working from a JPEG file here. You can actually work from JPEGs, TIFFs, EPSs, PSDs. People will sometimes say you cannot work from a JPEG. Well, yes, if the JPEG is a low-quality JPEG, then you may get some artifacts and some problems and some boxiness to it. But you can adjust JPEGs as was covered in the art preparation section. Now, the program is done running. This file was one that I built using different skin tones. So we have black, we have kind of a fair, very fair, and kind of a medium brown. And let's look at the separations first. There's the underbase, there's the lemon yellow, scarlet red, dark blue, light blue, highlight white, and black. And you'll see in a second that the blue is not that critical. It's just the girl's sweater, and it's not a big deal. Let's put the eyes on. Now, it did a respectable job, but pretty weak for the flesh tones. The problem is that we can only adjust for so much dot gain, and you're going to get some dot gain in press, and we're displaying it the way it's going to print, and because all fleshes vary, it's just very difficult. We're trying to make flesh with red and yellow, maybe a little bit of blue tossed in, and it's difficult to make the skin tones. There's a routine in T-Seps called optional flesh and browns. And the reason it's flesh and browns is because we do have natural Caucasian flesh, but we have browns for black skin. We have oranges. Lots of fleshes have oranges tucked in the shadow areas. So if you look at a good flesh image, you'll see lots of orange in it. And so this is actually going to pull 2 shades of brown, a lighter flesh skin tone, Caucasian skin tone, and an orange. Let's click on this right now. And you run this after you've run the first routine, and you separate it first, then you run this routine. Now, this pulled a light flesh, a dark brown, a medium brown, and an orange. We're not going to use all of these. We're just going to find the one that looks the best. Let's put the colors back on again and see what it looks like without these. And now we're going to put the eye on just the light flesh. Much better. See how it really smooths it out? Makes a huge difference. Now we're going to really have a lot of control. You know, to make flesh and print flesh at press, making flesh with halftone dots of red and halftone dots of yellow, we're going to get some dot gain on the red, and she may start getting a little sunburn as we're printing. We're much better off printing flesh as an ink color, so we're printing more of a solid tone of the flesh. That's not bad. The dark brown will help somewhat. It brings in the browns here in this little graphic. It brings in the browns in the face. Don't have to have it. The medium brown helps also. If you can print these colors, go ahead and print them. See what the medium brown does to the shadow behind her chin. Now the orange is interesting. Look what the orange does to the shadow detail here. So we're going to keep the light flesh. Now, she looks a little flat, but that's because we're actually displaying it in the wrong print order. We need to move the flesh up earlier in the print order, because we want the highlight to print on top of the flesh. I'm going to turn the highlight eye off and look at her face right here and turn the highlight eye on. You can see the highlight makes all the difference in the world. That's going to be white ink printing on top of the flesh, and it's going to really give us some of the detail we need, some of the shape we need. Now we could print the orange. I'll bring the orange up earlier in the print order. If we can print this many colors, you could click on the orange and you might think, well, a little too much orange there. We could go to the Dodge Burn tool, right mouse click to give us a little bit bigger cursor, and we can actually lighten this up a little bit, the orange. Lighten it a little bit. And there you have it. That is the secret to getting really good flesh tones using T-Seps.